Alright, I'm back. No Marvel Snap, no God of War. It's back to Destiny 2 today. Yesterday I would have normally done like a full TWAB read through, but I did my God of War video, and it is a huge TWAB, so I'm going to kind of go back through it. I'm not going to do like a word for word reading, because this is a freaking enormous TWAB, and I would get exhausted, but also I think everyone kind of knows the gist of it, and I just kind of want to focus on the specific changes made and kind of what I think about each of them kind of as we go down the list here. It is a couple nerfs, but a good amount of buffs, and overall I'm pretty excited about what they talked about here. So this is the unnamed sandbox team, so I'm not exactly sure who wrote this, but they're just kind of talking about how a lot of decisions and changes were made at the time based on like the super energy economy and how that worked, and then pre all of the subclass 3.0 updates launching, and now everything has changed, and things are in a much different state now. So some things need buffing, some things need nerfing, and they talk about how like more is going to change in the future, like post Lightfall as well. Specifically in here, they note that invisibility on Void is probably not going to be changed till post Lightfall, which will make every PvP person upset. But we are getting a good amount of changes coming in season 19 here. For starters, so they are nerfing Restoration. I guess Restoration is still a little bit too much of an easy button, even though Classy Restoration is no longer a thing. I guess this opens the door for Classy Restoration to return as a mod and not necessarily be as wildly strong as it was before. So this is both a PvP and PvE nerf. They are reducing it in both modes by, I'm going to say, like 20% about in terms of the healing rate you get, and also it no longer double stacks with Rift healing, which it did before. Classy Restoration on top of a healing Rift was just like hilarious back when you could do that, but it was like so stupid you didn't even need it, so that's why you could use like Offensive Rift. We'll see. I mean, this seems mostly for PvP, but this will hurt Lorelei a little bit on Titans, because that is still pretty strong, even though that already took a nerf. I think that nerf was to take it down to X1 instead of X2, but it's still good. I think it's still a good ability. It's still better than Healing Wells, I think, in terms of the rate of health gain. So I'm not super surprised to see this here, and I think it'll be fine. They are doing a tiny nerf to Radiance in that space duration is now 8 seconds instead of 10 seconds. And then this mod specifically gives you a -10 discipline penalty, which if you're going for your triple 100s, one of the hundreds is usually discipline, so that's going to be annoying for some people. But I get why they did it, because there's just no real downside to this. I think this is the one where it's like on melee you get I can't look it up right now, but on melee you get Radiant, like, or on charge melee hit you get Radiant. So it was just a little too easy. It's just like hit this button to permanently increase your damage all the time. And then this one is just a little bit, so instead of adding 5 seconds to 8 seconds, it's now 50% bonus to 8. So it'll be 12 seconds, and then you can extend that with some other mods and things like that. Knock him down. Okay, so they were worried about too much chaining with Golden Gun and PvP, so now you're getting bonus damage resistance, but you're not getting bonus duration from that. And then you are not getting bonus damage resistance from Marksman Golden Gun. I don't play enough PvP to really know how much of a problem this was in PvP, but I guess it was annoying. And then apparently Blade Barrage is a little too strong with the knock him down aspect, so they are nerfing knives a little bit down to 20 from 24. I'm assuming this is like, okay, we have pushed it above where we're comfortable burst damage super living. So it is a damage nerf. It's not just like number of knives. So I don't know if it's like a, what is that, like 18% damage nerf or something, if we're going from 24 to 20. I don't know. I mean, they buffed it enough where it was very strong. So if it's in line with other bursts, I guess it's okay. I just hope it wasn't nerfed too much. Finally, this is a little bit of just a logic buff for Celestial Fire, because if you use it at close range, you would be out meleeed by the other player, because the damage is lower, but now they're changing it, so if you hit someone with really close range, it's essentially like you're doing a normal melee. That seems fine. Alright. Void, this is the funniest one in the freaking list. Okay, so apparently Void overshields have been bugged the entire time since Witch Queen. where they were only providing a 25% PvE only damage resistance rather than the intended 50%. So this whole time, overshields have not been as strong as they were supposed to be in... Oh, Evie's barking at someone outside. Have not been as strong as they were supposed to be. I don't know necessarily if this is enough to make Void Overshields like crazily good or super worthwhile. I guess I'm going to have to kind of feel this out. It is further damage reduction in now an era where we have just all kinds of damage reduction already. So it seems like this could be strong. I do wonder if it's enough to make Repulsor Brace actually feel good as a weapon perk. Like previously, the problem with the Overshield is like it's so dinky, and like I wonder if it needs more damage resistance or if it needs more total HP that the Overshield gives you. Like, I know this will help, but I wonder if it's going to help enough. Nova Bomb is getting buffed a little bit. I think this is mostly for Crucible and like tracking players because it's too easy to escape from, maybe. So it will travel faster and pull things more. I think this is also for PvE, not a damage buff, but kind of a utility buff there. Sentinel Titans, I guess it's hard to suppress enemies if people are running around in PvP, so that is being fixed. They are changing the tether anchor times on both Hunter Supers. Deadfall is being increased 8 seconds to 12 seconds. Mobius is being decreased 8 seconds to 6 seconds. Trying to make it more of an attractive offering because I guess not enough people are using Deadfall. And then they talk here about how they are not going to be using or doing anything with visibility at the next... Okay, so it says they don't have any plans to announce today. We're looking at long-term solutions. A team full of visible Night Stalkers. So I feel like they don't know how to fix it yet, and they're working on it, but it does not seem like something that is going to arrive. Definitely not at the beginning of Season 19. I mean, maybe for a mid-season pass, but this could be part of their larger overall rework, which they mentioned earlier, and which they mentioned they don't want to do until after Strand hits. So this is Arc. This is the new Warlock Arc armor. I don't love it. I don't know. I can only really see 2 pieces of it, essentially. This just looks like the thing we just got from the Fortnite skins, except a little different. And then this helmet, at least from this angle, that's not a good helmet. I don't like it. I don't know, the collar on this, like, this part could be okay. I'm never going to wear that helmet. I haven't really liked many of the elemental ones, to be honest. I think they've done a lot of really awesome armor sets lately, but I have not really liked any of the elemental ones. They're too limiting in terms of color palette, because they're always glowing the elemental subclass color, which I guess makes sense, but, like, it makes fashion a lot harder, so I just almost never use those. Okay, so Arc is the most recent one, and they're doing a bunch of different things here. So they are nerfing Titan Storm Grenades. However, the nerfs don't seem that bad. So what's happening is that they are decreasing the time it roams around by 1 second, and they are decreasing the bonus that you're always going to have this fragment on, and that gives it an extra 2 seconds, but it's going down to 1.5 seconds. So it's going to be 4.5 seconds when previously, 5.5 seconds when previously it could be 7 seconds. I think, again, this seems like mostly for PvP because there were just too many storm clouds running around all the time. But for PvE, given how fast you can freaking recharge storm grenades with a thruster boosts Heart of Inmost Light build, like, I don't think this is going to do anything to that. And there's no damage nerfs here, so unless there are Heart of Inmost Light nerfs coming, which there could be, this does not really seem like it's going to actually kill off Titan grenade spam builds at PvE, at least. Ballistic Slam, that move is boring. It's getting buffed by 16%. Is that enough to make me use it? Probably not. Tempest Strike, that's getting buffed by 30%. Is that enough to make me use it? Okay. It's a little better. I do not like sliding melees. I don't think that is a logical, like, good flow melee. Like, I never use sliding melees. Like, Warlocks have them, Titans have them, like the sliding Stasis one. Like, I don't like those. I really don't. So I'm probably not going to use that. I'll stick with the other two. Stormcaller. Okay, Arc Soul. This buff seems kind of crazy. Base damage versus PvP combatants 35 to 60. That is very huge. That is almost a 100% buff. guess we will see. And then you get like super arc souls now with being overcharged and stuff, or sorry, amplified. So that's pretty cool. And they're like, yeah, this might make things too strong, but you know, whatever, it's fine. Ball lightning travels a little further. Chain lightning, this move is awful, but it is going to do more damage now. I mean, I'll give it a try at 50% of a damage increase, so who knows. But Chaos Reach. So this was nerfed originally because of the Crucible back in Season 15. So they increased the base cooldown time, and they killed the ability for Geomags to top off the super. Okay, so what they're doing now is they're reducing base cooldown time from 916 to 735. In PvE, at least, the uptime on this super is not the problem. The problem is the damage is freaking awful. And so not only do I think the Geomag should be restored, at least for PvE, it shouldn't also have to be mandatory to use Geomags to make these do anything approaching reasonable damage. Like, using this as a damage super without Geomags is laughably terrible, and it needs a damage buff in PvE for sure. Stasis. All right, a lot of fun Stasis buffs. Stasis has not been touched for a while. They did a bunch of crap a long time ago to nerf it for PvP. It did get some PvE buffs eventually, but now there are more PvE buffs. Slow is being increased as a movement speed penalty by 10%. I think this applies to all modes, so that is something. Cold Snap Grenade is now going to be better at tracking enemies because it's not great at that, so your Ozymancy builds will be even better than they are now. I've been using an Ozymancy build for a little while now on Warlock because I got tired of Arc 3.0 after a while, and it is super fun. I really love it. Duskfield is another grenade getting a buff. I think this is only against players, and it's going to apply more slow, and then slow is more slowing, so this is going to be even more of a denial freeze tool than it is now. Finally, two long awaited changes. Buffs are happening for Hunters and Titans. It has been absurd that these aspects have only had one fragment each, and now they are both getting 2 fragments each, so that has the potential to really help builds using those, so that's great. Shadebinder, Glacial Harvest, they're reducing Stasis Shard creation per 6 shards from 15 to 10 seconds. That's great, because I really love Glacial Harvest on Warlocks. Like, I do like the thing where you make shards wells, whatever that mod is, and it's a lot of fun, so that being buffed even further is really good news to me. And then this one, this is a big deal. So, provides bonus damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets for all primary ammo weapons rather than just kinetic primary ammo weapons. It was such a specific category before this where it was like, you need only primaries, only in the kinetic slot to increase bonus damage against stasis crystals. But now it is any primary ammo weapon. So void, stasis, it doesn't even have to be in the top slot. It could be any primary ammo weapon, including your energy weapons. I think, I'm 99% sure that's what that means. So any element is going to be able to do bonus damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets for like really quick shattering. And then you can combine that with some fun things like the Hake weapons also do bonus damage to structures, and stasis crystals count as structures, so that is very fun. This is actually there's that one Hake scout rifle that has headstone, but it's stasis, so now it's going to get a double bonus where it will do bonus damage to crystals based on being Hake and based on being a primary ammo weapon, even though it's stasis. So I'm kind of looking forward to that now. That's going to be pretty cool. It's like the Perseus D, I think that's what it is. Okay, so yeah, they're going to do larger changes after Strand releases, but this is all the stuff they're doing at the beginning of Season 19. Rest of the TWAB, mostly just like, here's the dungeon launch time. I guess we're only a month away from that. First Friday of the new season. We are essentially a month away, literally, from the beginning of the new season. And I think that's it. Everything else is just Meat Clown not winning any Halloween feature spots, which is the great tragedy of our time. They're just too scared of him. They think he would be too scary. That's pretty good. That's a good use of that helmet. What helmet is that, actually? I don't even know off the top of my head. This modified textures on last gen consoles, essentially, and like this. Okay, these two I can tell the difference. I can't tell the difference between these ones. It's the Pam Beasley meme. They're the same picture. I genuinely cannot see the difference. Literally just the first one. This one... Is the floor better? I don't know. I can't tell. Okay. I think that is pretty much everything. But I do really like a lot of those buffs. Oh, Gamma Trap 1 again. And I am looking forward to playing them next season. I have a theory that next season will be a Stasis artifact season. So we're going to get, like, obviously, when all the 3.0 elements launch, we had mods that had to do with that subclass in the artifacts to boost them further. There were some broken ones in Void, broken ones in Solar. I don't think there was any broken Arc ones, personally. But I really do think that Stasis is going to be the next focus, and then obviously Strand when Lightfall launches. Because like if they're ever going to do a Stasis artifact, it's going to be next season before, it takes another year or whatever for it to rotate back in. So that is my theory, even if we are getting the Arc armor set that we're missing. I guess we also technically need a Stasis elemental armor set, but I don't like these elemental armor sets. Just do other ones. It's fine. Okay. Anyway, that is it. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.